What's up, good people? Welcome to episode 7 of the Talk of the Shore. I'm one of your hosts, Ralan Warlaw.
And I'm Langston Frazier. We're back for another week.
Back, man. Listen. We had a really, really good weekend of basketball, good weekend of sports all around. We'll get to that later. But you know how we start off. HBCU fact of the day. Let's go.
We learning today. I got another fact for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which was the first HBCU owned and operated by African Americans? Do you know? Have a clue? Any guess?
Nah. No clue. Yeah, no clue. Oh, you said owned and operated. No, I don't know.
Wilberforce University in Ohio. It was founded in 1856, and it was named after William Wilberforce, who led efforts to abolish slavery.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, in Ohio, yeah. I've never been to Wilberforce, Ohio, but it wasn't too far from when I was living up in the Midwest from where I was living at. So that's pretty cool.
That's an interesting name. That's kind of cool.
Wilberforce.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, but it makes you do a head turn.
But if you hear it, you go, hey, I went to Wilberforce. It gives you something.
You
it's like,
you can't steal it from everybody.
Yeah,
else.
you can't. I wonder, do they call themselves like WU? You know what I mean? Like,
like what's the initials?
Like, what's the acronym? I mean, I guess they would go
FU or what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just WU, but I wonder if there's another WU in Ohio. I really don't know, because I mean, sometimes you hear of schools, but you don't know exactly where they are. Like, people know, like, people have heard of Mercer, but a lot of times, like, where is it at? I mean, I know it's in Georgia because it's like down there where I grew up, but it's like if you hear like Mercer, it's like, where's that really at? So I don't know. There could be some other WU in Ohio, but I don't know.
But we're changing it up a little bit today.
Yeah, we're changing it up. So
no guests today.
No guests.
But we got a brand new logo.
So it's behind us.
That's pretty
If you're
cool.
looking at the YouTube, you definitely can see it. If you're listening to the podcast, go to the YouTube so you can see the new logo. Or if you clicked on the podcast, you saw the logo, but still go to the YouTube and look at the logo.
Shout out to Mark Arcusa who made the logo
thank
for
you.
us.
The father of Samaya, who
was on the show. Episode 3 or 4.
And that kind of segues us into what this episode is going to be about. We came up with this vision, this idea 4 months ago. We really didn't know how it was going to go. So we really came in cold turkey. And I know a few weeks ago I listened back to the trailer episode and I was cringing because I was like, we really didn't know. We just were kind of just trying to figure something out. And then, with Trevor and then Cedric, we kind of started to catch our groove. And then that led up to, our last one with Evan, and we were in here forever.
Yeah.
But it kind of just really has shown the growth of, kind of where our program has, led us to. So, with this being episode 7, we have 6 episodes. What has been your, favorite moment so far? Like out of our shows? Because I mean, there's a lot of good moments. I mean, I feel like every episode we had something that was kind of, a moment. Even like I think Dominique was our shortest one.
Yeah.
But that was the first one we had after the untimely passing of Kobe and his daughter and the other victims. So that still, we had that moment of like everybody had like a Kobe
personal story,
personal Kobe story. So, I mean, I'm just saying like that probably was, I wouldn't say that was like my favorite moment, but that's, one of the things I can remember just going through. So what would you say was like one of your favorite
I would
moments?
say the stories that we get to hear about from other people of how they got into sports, especially some of our student athletes and our coaches, because everything has a story behind it.
Yeah.
And I think really getting to hear why they got into this business or, the sports that they're in the first place, I think is really cool to kind of explain it, kind of tell you, basically, you can come from anywhere and do whatever you want. But if you, put your mind to it and you have a passion to be in a sport that you're interested in, then boom, there you go.
Yeah, and then also, too, the common theme that everybody always, I always notice, no matter how, no matter what their job title is or how they got here, if you say, hey, how did you get here? Everybody kind of Whew, man.
Yeah,
everybody's kind of like got a story because nobody nobody has that traditional as far as who we've had so far, we haven't had like somebody that says, hey, I've always wanted to come to school here. I've always wanted to coach this. I've always wanted to be an administrator in this. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, feeling their way around. And so I feel like that's why that was one of the things, just to piggyback off what you said, I really wanted us to kind of try to capture with this show without a time constraint, without having to say, look, we got to stop now, having a little leeway and letting them just talk.
Just talk, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's funny because, even going back, I saw Trevor Kellerman earlier and he's just like, how's the pot? Who you got in the pocket? Like, he was the first, he's still invested in hey, how you guys doing with your project? It's
something that's really fun because I think it's good for both of us because we get to kind of step into a different role that's something little and unique and something that's, not too regular that we do every day. And it's something that people can, go across campus and say, hey, who's on the podcast? Like you just said, and, mention it to us and say, hey, show's really good. Who you having on next week? But it kind of gives us something that we can put in our tool bag to use in the future. I think it's pretty good.
Right. And always, you never can have too many tools in the tool bag. Somebody, I was watching something one time, and they were talking about Jennifer Lopez, and they were saying, do you think Jennifer Lopez is, great at anything, or is she really good at a lot of things? Yeah. Because I would say, me personally, I think she's probably her best attribute is probably her dancing. Yeah. But, she can sing, she can act. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's going to go get an Oscar, but she holds her own in, with talented actors. I'm not saying she's gonna sing like Whitney Houston, but she can sing.
But she can sing.
So I think that's I look at her not saying it's that's the model, but how she's somebody who I don't know if you could just pinpoint one thing she's the best at. I feel like I feel like Denzel Washington's the best actor ever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know if Denzel can sing or what I'm saying, but he does that so exceptionally well that it's
why not?
You don't have to worry.
Give him some time.
You don't have to worry about the other things. So I think just kind of how she has that I guess that coming up is is she really good at a lot of things or is she just great at one thing? So I think that's that's kind of something I found interesting, and I when I think about this podcast, I think about just adding to your toolbox. Yeah. So.
I think it's kind of, in a way, it's expanding the brand of Maryland Eastern Shore Athletics. Right. I think it's something good. It's something positive that people can look for. It's easy to listen to. I listen to it on my ride home, and I don't know. I think it has a lot of potential to grow from where we're at right now. I think we're off to a great start, and we got a whole bunch of more guests lined up in the future. And so it's all around a good show. I think it works. It's something a little different, but let's just see where it goes. Keep it rolling.
For sure. So, because we don't have a guest, we can't ask anybody where they're from or 3 words about their hometown. And we've already said about our hometown and in our trailer episode, I should say. So, I'll just simply ask, when's the last time you went home?
Oh, last time I went home, what are we in? February 18th?
February, yeah, we're filming this February 18th.
About 3.5 weeks ago. 3.5 weeks ago. Home for a nice little holiday winter break. It was nice. Relax.
What did you do while you was home?
Worked. Got a job.
Yeah.
Put some money in my pocket and did some studying from my math classes and got that ready and then hung out with some friends and just took it easy. Slept.
Tried to take it easy.
Slept.
Yeah, and then those things about Bowie, as far as how you say, the Walmart and stuff like that, were all those things still the same?
Yeah, everything's still the same. Obviously there's a new shopping center in Bowie, so that's slowly starting to.
What's all there?
You got Chick-fil-A over there, you got Chipotle over there. We have a Quickway. I got into Quickway. Quickway is really good.
What, is that?
It's like a hibachi type of place. It's like rice and chicken.
Do they cook in front of you, or you?
Yeah,
but
it's like quick. It's like quick food.
Oh,
but it's like filling and it's like good.
Got you.
So that's over there. And then you gotta obviously get a smoothie place because you can never go to a shopping center and not have a smoothie place. I love smoothies. Drink them all day. Got one of those. Got a PetSmart because everybody loves pets.
Everybody,
We got an AutoZone, like a Minute Clinic type thing. We got a laundromat over there. We got a pizza place. Blinds of all things. Blinds. Anybody?
It's
need
called
blinds?
Blinds?
Yeah, like Next Day Blinds. That's over there. Let's see. We got obviously beer, wine, and spirits place. We got a grocery store.
You gotta have that.
Gotta have that.
You gotta have that.
But yeah, that's about everything. And they're putting a new like poke bowl place in there, and that's supposed to be the new thing. Nail salon over there. Well, that's good. Every single time I go over there, it's something new, something fresh to go explore over there. But I love it over there.
I'm wild sometimes with what I think. I just thought about something. Like, there's two things that are like I feel like three things that are truly universal in the world. Like, music's one.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't listen to country music, you can listen to something and be like, hey, that's a nice song.
Yeah.
And then I think sports is pretty universal because it brings people together of all races, genders.
Yep.
But beer, wine, and spirits is also...
beer, wine, and spirits.
Because, I mean, listen, if you go to the lowest of the low or the highest
high.
Everybody drinks.
Yeah, everybody drinks.
It's like, when you said that, I was like, yeah, like, I think those three things that, like, I don't want to say bring people together, but they kind of bring people together,
depends,
because, it's like, if you, like, okay, like, for you, like, I call it a cookout, like, when summertime, July 4th, you have a cookout.
Yeah.
Some people call it a barbecue.
Yeah,
some people call it, just like, whatever. I don't know what else, other things people call it. Just a gathering, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind you go to. We know it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Beer, wine, and spirits.
Beer, wine, and spirits.
And if it's, and probably whatever sport of the time is probably on.
Yeah.
If it's summertime, baseball probably on.
Right.
Thanksgiving is football. Christmas is basketball, And then, and then usually people play music there.
Right. Got good music.
So, yeah, that's...
Whatever the new hottest track of the summer or that time or that season is really popular. Just I think that's an important part. Like, but here's the thing: what makes up a party to you? Is it the people and the food? Is it the music? Is it sports? What do you think? What's the key factor?
It's the vibe. It's just the vibe. Like,
vibe.
I've had really fun at places where it was like 8 people there.
Yeah,
and I've had a horrible time where it was 60 people there. I think it's just a vibe, and just if people are here and they don't like each other, they got problems, like I really don't.
Yeah, it just carries over into the party. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I mean, I consider myself an adaptable person. Like I'm not shy, but at the same time, I don't just be in people's face.
Like, yeah.
So if say I get invited somewhere. If I don't know anyone, that's fine. Like if I only know a couple people, because I've been to a cookout before where it was like 50, 75 people, and I knew like 3 people. And it was cool because I took it as an opportunity to meet more people. So by the time I left, I knew another 15, 20 people, and it was because the spirits started flowing. It's like, hey man, come over here, man.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you. But no, seriously. But yeah, so I think more than anything is the vibe. I don't think there's like there's not a blueprint on how to have a good time with people.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a blueprint on that. I think it's just about like what you and those people, decide to do. And if y'all decide to do something that is fun and exciting, and everybody enjoyed it. It's cool. Like we just this podcast. There's 3 of us sometimes, and we have a great time. And so that's what I feel like. What you think is the most important element of?
For me, I think it's the people. I generally think it's the people. Drinking is fun and whatever, and the food is good. But if you have like a solid group of people, I'll just go to hang out with people,
right?
And just be in their company because sometimes no one wants to hang out alone. That's kind of boring. But if you're around a good set of people and you're telling stories and you just mess around with each other, that's cool. It's fun. That's what I do.
Yeah, there's some type of
especially in college, because you
yeah,
save a whole bunch of money.
college.
Like, yo, if you
Man.
can party and hang out with people on a budget, that's the best thing. And so that's what I really think.
Balling on a budget.
Hey,
Gotta find a way. Like but there's someone told me one time there's some type of study that says like you need interaction with like people outside of like your normal day to day. And what they mean is like you need to do something besides wake up in the morning. Even if you go, like, say you wake up in the morning, you go work out, and then you go to school, you go home.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up, you work out, you go, go to work, then go home. Like, that's actually not healthy for your mental.
yeah.
You actually need to go out and, like, be around people. Not saying you go to the club, because, I mean,
Yeah, that's
not a lot of
that's-
people, I feel old saying this, but I'm like growing out of the club
Yeah.
scene. Like, and it's funny because like now, but that's a good thing because if me and I'm with some good people and we got a good vibe and we decide we're going out, like
Yeah.
I take that as a time to really enjoy myself because I know I don't want to do this often.
Yeah, it
So if I
doesn't
decide
happen
to do it
anymore.
today,
I think that's the aspect that I think of it
we
too.
gonna go hard.
Like, again, if you have good people and you're
Mm-hmm.
got something generally in common with each other, then you're good. Go out and have a good time. But like, if you have to go out every weekend and spend a whole bunch of money, my thing has always been, and my friends know this, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to have a good time.
Nope.
You can
No, you don't.
play Uno. You can play video games. Now, I don't play video games. I never play video games. But if I
Like
can sit
ever,
in-
you never played them?
I did, but I played like the racing games, like the Need for Speeds and the Forzas and all
Oh,
that
for
stuff.
sure.
But it's you just grow out of it. You got in it.
You weren't a Call of Duty guy?
If I got 3 kills, I was happy.
I never listen.
I'm so bad at it.
I was never a Call of Duty guy. Like I never was. Some people.
Yeah.
I just never was. I never was into Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played it, but what would happen would always be Call of Duty was kind of like if you start playing it with people who know how to play, they don't want to play with you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at the
I
same
feel
time,
that.
they're not trying to like help you
Yeah,
get better.
ease you into it. Yeah.
What am I playing
agree.
for? What am I playing for? So I never was just Call of Duty was never my thing.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's not the best game that I'm good at. I'm better at the driving games and whatnot.
But I actually haven't had a game system to call my own.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's been a while. Like
5.
it's been a while. Like
9.
yeah,
9-ish years, I think, for me.
it's probably the same for me. Like I'm trying to think. Like I may have.
I know it was an
'Cause
Xbox. I know it was an
'cause I
Xbox
stopped-
360. I think I stopped right before the original Xbox One
Yeah, it's
came
been a
out.
while. Well, the thing was because even once I got to high school, I would venture to say middle school was probably the last time I was consistently playing video games
Yeah.
on my own.
Yeah.
Because once I got to high school, my time was kind of
Limited, yeah.
because of how my schedule was in high school. So if I got home late, you get home, it's like video games was the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to eat, do a little homework, go to sleep. Or,
Yeah.
Still your parents, we got to go XYZ, we got to go
Right. Boom,
wherever.
boom, 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 yeah.
So I just kind of just stopped playing video games. And then I remember my junior year of college, my roommate, he brought his Xbox and we played 2K nonstop. Now, I will say that was anybody who,
Now, I never played 2K.
oh my gosh, we played too much 2K. We played 2K so much that we used to just pick random teams and
Yeah.
just play. Because we played too much. Because at that time, that's when LeBron was still on the Heat. So you couldn't pick the Heat. You couldn't,
Right.
But and so that was and for everybody, I was early on the Warriors, and I'm gonna say this why. I'm gonna say this now, because my boys know Keith, DeMarc, Corin, my Jalen, all my roommates. You know what I'm saying? They not listen. If they, I make sure they listen to this because I gave all of them a shout out.
All right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? They know, like, especially like Keith, DeMarc, Corin. They was the roommates, right? We used to play 2K all the time. I started playing with the Warriors before they won a championship. because I was a Steph Curry guy.
Yeah.
Because he's from North Carolina, I'm from South Carolina.
Okay,
and so I
yeah.
used to see him play when he was in college. And I was like, yo, that dude can play. And then so he got to the league. At first, he wasn't really popping.
Yeah.
Then he started catching on. And Klay Thompson. So I used to play with the Warriors. I loved playing with the Warriors. This is before they
Would you say that's like your favorite basketball team?
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
It's not. I don't have a favorite basketball team.
Okay.
I just got favorite players.
Interesting.
And so, but I started playing with the Warriors. I liked them. And then, they became what they became. But I was playing with the Warriors early. But I used to like to play with the Pelicans, which was the Pelicans had Anthony Davis at the time. But
yeah.
But he was still like young. I used to play. They had Tyreek Evans was on their team. It was like weird because I played so much 2K. I would start getting good with players who weren't like superstars.
Oh.
They weren't like superstars. So I was really good with like Tyreek Evans.
Yeah.
Who the average basketball fan does not know who Tyreek Evans is. I was really good on 2K with Tyreek Evans. Who else? Like I remember when the Thunder had Kevin Durant and James Harden.
Okay.
There was a dude on their team named Daquan Cook who I could shoot with. Nobody else could shoot with him. Like I'm telling you, like I was a 2K.
The most random people.
Listen, man, I could play some 2K back in my day.
Yeah.
And so, but that's all we played. We played 2K all the time. We would have people come over and like just play 2K and just I'd be killing them. Like we would run through the whole room because we played 2K all the time.
Huh.
We played 2K. It was unhealthy. It was an unhealthy amount of 2K we was playing. And that was just junior year. It was funny. It was just junior year because once senior year came, we was like, bro, we can't be playing 2K.
Right. We trying to get out of here.
Well, no, because it was like I think what happened was like everybody left. Like, see, that was the thing. I liked my room because we all were like, we had fun. We had fun. But we also like push each other and strive to do really well. And I remember like it was probably like semester was starting. My boy DeMarc, he was like, "Yo, like bro, I think we're all gonna like get good internships this summer." And then we all did. Like we all got internships.
Right,
was all working.
speaking into existence.
We were like it was crazy. And then I remember we got back to school, and I mean. Everybody had some money in their pocket,
right.
You know what I mean? So we just, we enjoyed it. We had a really, really good senior year because we had, set that foundation. But junior year, we played too much 2K. And now I don't need, I can't tell you last time I played 2K.
Yeah.
I can't tell you last time I played 2K.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Man, listen. But we were, good old 2K, good days. I've never played Fortnite.
No, okay. Fortnite, Minecraft.
You ever played?
No,
Fortnite? I never played Fortnite.
No.
But I mean, you still in college now. But I mean,
I never played it.
I never played Fortnite.
I don't get it.
Minecraft. I don't get any of it.
I don't. I don't
like even like
it.
Madden. A lot of people still. I haven't played Madden.
Well, see, I would win like the first touchdown and then just go down from hill. But something related to football that's brand new. This XFL. Football League. Have you watched it? Have you watched? Yo, DC finally got a team to be proud of. 2-0. Go Defenders. Yo, it's so good.
I thought you like Washington. I thought you like the Redskins.
Well, I do, but they're both from DC. So I got two teams to root for now. When the Redskins ain't playing too good, I can root for the Defenders. Plus, they're opposite seasons.
This is true. So, do you think the XFL is going to last past this year?
That I couldn't tell you. I know they started one in Orlando or something like that last summer or something. Before, like, they went apparently bankrupt or the whole system went bankrupt and it went downhill. Hopefully it does last because DC could use like a team that's like really good to boost up their energy.
I don't see people watching the XFL enough.
I watch both games.
No, I'm not saying I'm just saying like in general, I don't see enough people watching it consistently for it to like survive to another season.
Why is that?
Because the players aren't as good.
But it makes it exciting. That's why the rules are different. I like the rule changes.
The rules are cool. Like, part of the reason that people tune in to the NFL the way they do is because of the quality of play.
Okay, well, you don't think the same qualities of player are in this organization? It's like half of them played college football. They just didn't get drafted. Or there was just one guy from
That's my
DC,
point.
He was on the practice squad. Like, he played college football, made it on the practice squad at some football team.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, like, please don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they aren't good football players. They're very good football players. They're professional football players.
Yeah.
Some of them played in NFL. Some of them played very high-level college football. But if you take the 20th or 25th best quarterback in the NFL, he's better than every quarterback in the XFL. Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is 45 years old, I don't know how old he is, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's the quarterback for the Dolphins, has been playing for forever. He is better than every quarterback in the XFL. I put money on that. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm coming from. I like the rule changes. I like how they do the interviews.
Yeah, no, that's...
I like the whole process of it. I just think the country as a whole is not going to back it the way that I feel like they should or they would. I would love to be wrong because I don't want people's business to fall. Mm-hmm. And I've watched games. I watched games Sunday. I watched games the first weekend. Like, I've watched games, so don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I've watched games, but I don't. That's why I just don't see it because of the first time they had the XFL, it fell after a year.
Yeah.
And I think part of it was, because the caliber of player, But I am happy it gives some guys an opportunity to be seen by NFL teams if they choose to get back into the NFL. I personally, when the XFL was coming back, I said the first call should be Colin Kaepernick. That's what I thought. I said if you want to get
some hype
jersey
behind
sales,
it and
people watching TV, because I promise you, if
you think he would do it?
No, I don't think he'll do it. But if Colin Kaepernick was in XFL, jerseys would be sold out in hours. I personally think that. You know what I mean?
And do you think it depends on which team, if he ever decided to what team? Okay.
I think if he was just in the league, it doesn't matter who he play for. Orlando, DC, St. Louis as a team, like, it does not matter. If Colin Kaepernick is, if Colin Kaepernick is playing professional football tomorrow, I'm trying to buy a jersey. I haven't bought a football jersey. I can't tell you the last time I can tell you the last time I bought a football jersey.
I have old Redskins jerseys. That's what
I can tell you the last time I bought a football jersey. But I would buy that jersey.
Yeah.
Because it was Colin Kaepernick. It's like just the principle of the whole thing. It's kind of like if you support like a charity or something like that. Like sometimes it's like I'm just gonna give just because I support this person, this charity. You know what I mean? If your friend is, if your coworker's daughter selling Girl Scout cookies, I may not want Girl Scout cookies, but I'm gonna support my coworker's daughter.
Yeah.
It's the same process. Like I'm gonna support the XFL because they gave Colin Kaepernick a chance to win the NFL. Back. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. It was a lot, but I'm just saying. People would get behind XFL with Colin Kaepernick. I personally think that.
I think right now they're off to a good start. As far as I think the promotion, I think people know about it more.
The TV contract is great because it is not hard to find a game.
No, it's not.
It's not hard to find a game.
And the fact that they're putting it online too at at the same time makes it helps. Makes more people want to tune in. They put it on Twitter and then they get like, I think Vince McMahon owns the company, and he puts a whole bunch of like WWE announcers on the pregame show or whatever.
I love the fact that it's the jobs aspect of it.
Yeah,
I love that. Like how it's giving guys a chance to still
stay
earn
active,
a living, and doing something they love. I
think if they win a game, they get like a $2,000 add-on or whatever.
I love that aspect. I'm always because I mean it's so much money out here. I mean people get paid.
Yeah,
I'm get paid, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can use what God gave you to get paid, get paid.
Get paid.
Take care of yourselves, take care of your money, and do what you need to do. As Marshawn Lynch said, take care of your chickens.
Or your Skittles, for that matter.
I love Beast Mode. Love Beast Mode. Love him.
What team is he on now?
He just retired again, man. He came back and was on the Seahawks. I love Marshawn Lynch, though. He's,
interesting guy.
He's a national treasure that should be preserved.
Wow.
He is, bro.
Wow.
He's just here so he don't get fined. He's just here so he don't get fined. He's a national treasure that should be preserved. Marshawn, you are a national treasure that should be cherished. He should, bro. That dude he's intelligent, bro. He's something. He is something, bro. He always gives you something. Does he not?
Yeah,
he gives you something. So I say that.
I don't know how to stomach that statement. I don't like.
Okay, all right, okay.
Eli Manning, no.
Okay. When
Tom Brady,
when I say
even though
national treasure,
yeah.
I don't mean it in the actual
well,
literal
yeah.
sense. But what I'm saying is like he's somebody that like kind of in the spirit of in the untimely passing of Kobe. I feel like there's people just in our lives we need to say, hey man, you are a special person.
Betty White.
Yes. Betty White is a national. You know what I'm saying? Like these people,
at all
there's certain
costs.
people that they need to know how much people really love them.
Yeah.
Like Betty White, Barack Obama, like people like Marshall, like people really love him.
Okay.
Outside of football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like that when I say like national treasure, it's like I'm not saying like, oh, he's like the best running back that's ever played.
Yeah.
But I mean just as like
he has something that's special that most people don't have.
Yeah, he has something about him that's special that people don't really have. And I think that's like perfect example is Betty White.
That's true.
She's like a perfect example.
Good at everything. Not
Betty
great at
White,
one
Cicely
particular
Tyson,
thing, yeah.
people like that. Those are like national treasures. Like they are like they've been here before. They've seen a lot, done a lot.
How old is she?
Cicely Tyson and Betty White.
Yeah.
Both of them got to be in their 90s, bro. They have to. They got to.
Interesting.
They got to. They have to. I don't know
Yeah, for sure. I think
but they're both got to be in the 90s. But I thought about something just now, and we talked about it earlier. We've been asking fun facts about our guests.
Okay.
What's some fun facts about us?
Fun facts.
You want to start? You want me to start? How you want to start it?
Jeez, fun facts about me. Wow. What's fun about me? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I can't tell you. Nobody can tell you about you.
That's true.
I'll give you one of mine. This is a. You're gonna look at me crazy. I'm not gonna lie, and I deserve this from you because I know you're gonna look at me crazy because I've came at you on a lot of different things.
That's true.
I've never played a game of Monopoly.
That's not crazy. That's not crazy. How many people play board games at this point? Now, have you played Uno?
Come on, now I'm a human being.
Okay. But
I play Uno.
Now, have you played Scrabble?
Nah.
I would expect you to play Scrabble. I would expect that.
You know
from
what's funny? I'd probably be real good at Scrabble because I got some words.
You know some.
I got some
that
words.
That noggin up there is
I got some words
big.
up here that can just pop out there.
I've never played. That's not crazy. That's
I've never
not
played
a
a full
crazy
game of
fact.
Monopoly.
I wouldn't say. I'm not. You would think I would look at you crazy. I'm really not shocked. I'm not for that one.
Never played a full game of Monopoly.
Okay, a full game. So you played it. You just haven't finished the game.
Like, I've never played. I've never played Monopoly.
I played it like once or twice.
I never played Monopoly. I don't know how the game start.
Me either.
Like I have no. Like you said, we about to start a game of Monopoly. I have
let's go.
no idea.
No.
I don't know how the money works. I don't know how the little pieces. Like, we got land over here. Like, I remember. I
couldn't tell you.
They was playing Monopoly on the episode of Blackish one time, and I was trying to look. I was like, bro, I really don't. I've never played Monopoly.
Me either. I think I've played it maybe once or twice. That's about it.
You ever played the board game Clue? Like Colonel Mustard. Those who did it with a pipe in the boiler room or whatever it was.
I don't think I have.
Clue is a cool game.
I don't
Make you
think
feel like a little
I don't think I
detective.
played it.
Make you feel like a little detective or something. Little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not my genre.
Give you some Perry Mason vibes or whoever you're, what's my lady on Law and Order's name? I can't think of it.
I don't know. I've never watched Law and Order.
What?
I know that. I know the little dun dun. I know that part, but
You've never watched Law and Order?
That's not my thing.
So you've never watched the episode of Law and Order?
No. I watched.
Yo, that's worse than the Monopoly.
I've watched.
That's worse than Monopoly.
I watched Chicago PD, but I used to watch that show, but then I kind of fell off of it because it got too crazy. Once My thing with the TV show, if you start blending TV shows together like Chicago Med or Chicago Fire, like, once you start doing those like MASH episodes, it just makes me not want to watch it. Cause I used to watch every week. I started when it first came on the air.
You talking about
Chicago PD, and I just kind of fell off. Same thing with Grownish, or Grownish, right?
Yeah.
With the sisters. You used to watch that show. Then obviously college, everybody's broke. I don't have a TV, and plus they upgraded the cable system, so I don't get cable in my room anymore. So I had to watch the show after it comes out. And I kind of was like, oh, then, life hits, and you got so much stuff to do in class, all that stuff. You just forget to watch it.
But you can binge it now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then you got to catch up to everybody else. Now, one show I will tell you I do watch that I really like, How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, yeah.
Great show. Great show.
I fell off, though. I fell off at the end.
But I don't know, I don't know if they're, on a mini break. Couldn't tell you. But that show, I've never been into, the mystery murder shows. But that show... It's so good.
I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that turned me off, I didn't want to see Viola Davis crying every week. I didn't want to see her crying every week.
Yeah.
It was too many snot bubbles.
But it's good. But the way,
I couldn't take it anymore.
But the way they write the episodes and the way it kind of plays out, they keep you on the edge of your seat until the very last second. And they're like, next week on How to Get Away with Murder. I'm like, oh darn, I gotta wait another week.
Speaking of TV shows, Power finished.
See, I still haven't gotten into Power.
Power finished, and we got 4 spinoffs coming.
Spinoff. See,
now
why do we need spinoffs on shows? It's the same thing. Some things just
because some of the best shows come from spinoffs. You ever watched A Different World?
No.
Watch A Different World. It's an older show. It's a spinoff of The Cosby Show.
I never watched The Cosby Show. I maybe watched an episode, maybe. It's someone's mad, but I haven't
Well, see, I ain't even gonna lie. I got older parents, so
Well, I got older parents too, but I don't want to think my parents. They might have watched it. I'm not sure.
My parents was married while The Cosby Show was on.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
you know what I mean. So they had a whole different you know what I'm saying?
Perspective
of The Cosby Show. Now, I'm not saying they were sitting there oh, watch The Cosby Show. This is what we need. No, it wasn't like that. But I mean, I knew they probably watched The Cosby Show a little bit. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, A Different World is a spinoff of The Cosby Show. Grownish is obviously a spinoff of Blackish. So with these spinoffs of Power coming, I really don't know.
How many are they making? It sounds like they're
making 4.
Why do you need 4 spinoffs on a show? You might need 1 or 2.
With the way they ended Power, man. I'm sorry.
But not 3.
Just 4. It's 4. You got one about Ghost.
Are they all coming out at the same time, or are they coming out
I don't know. I know one's coming out in June. It's a Ghost, one about Ghost. Well, you don't know these characters.
Don't.
Never mind. Well, they got one about Ghost, and then they got one about Tommy, and they got one about Kanan. And then who's the other one about? Ghost, Kanan, Tommy. Oh, and Councilman Tate, who was one of my least favorite characters on the show.
Well, now he gonna get some love from somebody else.
I hated
that.
Councilman
Ain't you?
Tate. But it's funny because the actor that plays Councilman Tate is Lorenz Tate. I love Lorenz Tate as an actor.
You just don't like the character that he plays in the show.
It's
not for you.
Not a fan of Councilman Tate. Probably.
He rubbed his butts the wrong way. Oh, man.
I shouldn't be this invested in a TV show. I shouldn't be. But Councilman Tate rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, when's the last time you've been invested in a TV show like this? Because they don't come out very something I'm very invested in. Well, not super invested in, but into Stranger Things. Binge watch the whole thing. Now that's a fun fact about me. I did my first ever internship I went on. I was in Pennsylvania. It was me and my intern and me and my classmate now as he graduated from UMES in the PGM program a couple years back. But we were sitting there and we binge watched the whole first season in one night.
Stranger Things?
We showed up to work the next morning so out of it. And of course we had a long day too. That's how we got into the show. Binge watched the whole thing, the whole first season.
I actually that's how I caught up on How to Get Away with Murder. I binge watched How to Get Away with Murder to catch up.
But that's a good thing though, because then you could watch it all in one sit down and be okay.
Like, well, that's the thing. Power, I'm invested in Power because that was, I think, in my lifetime, that's probably the first show I can think of where season 1 came on. I was watching it all the way to season 6.
Yeah,
I never had to binge watch Power.
Yeah, that's so.
Like, I never had to binge watch Power. I've watched it with them.
The show, yeah.
I never had to binge watch it. I don't think I've ever had another show like that. Now, I remember, like, me and my brother were early. We were early on Bernie Mac's show.
Because a lot of people.
Me and my brother was watching Bernie Mac's show like from season 1.
Yeah.
We watched it all the way through. Another show called 101. You ever heard of that? I watched that. I stayed with that pretty early, but that was like one me and my brother used to watch. But my mom, and listen, my mom and all black women across America, they were invested in the show Girlfriends.
Never watched it. Never heard of it.
Well, Girlfriends was probably out when I was like 8 or 9. So you was probably 3, 4, something like that. But my mom was invested in Girlfriends. And that was a time when, it was like no DVR and stuff like that.
Like you had to watch.
So if you missed Monday at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you missed it. You got to get to work the next day and say, man, girl, what happened to no Girlfriends? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing.
They start talking about it.
I saw that. Like I saw my mom do that. Well, like not my mom. Like somebody asked me, like, "Oh, what happened to Girlfriends?" And so I remember my mom she used to watch Girlfriends, and like Tracy Ellis Ross, that's on Blackish. She was on Girlfriends, so I've had a crush on her for a long time.
Oh God,
I have. Hey Tracy.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. She's nice. She's nice. She is. What?
That's adorable, folks.
What? I can't. She on TV. She's nice. She's a good actor. She's won awards and stuff. And think about it, she was on one of my mom's early favorite shows. Blackish is one of my favorite shows now. She's like, I've grown up. She's watched me grow up.
Ain't that lovely?
Ain't that lovely? Shout out to Tracy Ellis Ross. She has a great Instagram too.
I give it an Instagram. Instagram's
she has great Instagram.
I don't know. What are fun facts about me? Stranger Things, Monopoly. I guess we both have that in common.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something about me because like that's what. I'm not gonna lie. Fun fact. That's a hard question. Someone said, tell me about yourself. Like,
what do you say? Like,
it's hard to tell people about yourself without just talking about how you got to the point where you're at.
Yeah.
Because I can bore you with. I'm from this place. I graduated high school this year. Then I went to college. I did this while I was in college. Then after I graduated college, I did this. And now, that's kind of like telling people about yourself. But it's hard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got any hobbies? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hobbies? I guess. Like,
because you can't really, like, somebody like, I could, like, me personally, I could say, hey, golf's a hobby. But it's not really a hobby for you. Because it's like the industry you want to work in.
Yeah. And
then that's another thing, too. Like, sports is a hobby for some people. I kind of work in that industry, so I can't really say it's not a hobby for me. It's a job for me. Mm-hmm. So I don't. You know. I would
say a hobby. I like to watch cycling on TV. That's interesting. People find that really boring. Oh, you're just gonna like watch these guys in like skin suits or ride their bikes across the country. It's fun.
You know what's funny with the Olympics coming up? You know my favorite thing to watch at the Olympics?
What?
Swimming.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to watch the Olympics. Like, no joke. Like, because I ain't watching the basketball. We gonna win.
Yeah, we gonna win. It's regardless.
I don't care.
We good.
Track. Jamaica's gonna win.
Yeah.
USA wins, and then Kenyans win the long stuff. That's kind of how it goes.
That's what happens.
That's kind of how it goes. USA's got some people that are good. Jamaica's gonna have the fastest people there, and Kenyans are gonna win the marathon. That's kind of how it goes. But swimming,
anybody can win. Michael Phelps is not come back this year, right?
Nah, that's what making it even better. My favorite, like by far, my favorite thing to watch in the Olympics is swimming. Like by far.
That's true.
How far?
And we got golf coming back this year. But I
For
really
real?
want to know if Tiger's gonna make this team. I'm really curious to know if he's gonna make it.
How many people gonna be on the golf USA team? You know,
I want to say 4. I think it's the top 4 in the world.
So who would that be right now? Like Spieth?
I think Brooks is up there.
Yeah. You saw his Kobe shoes last weekend?
Yeah. So, fun fact about those Kobe shoes. Those Kobe shoes were made actually a couple months before, ahead of time, for a completely different purpose.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I found out. And he brought him out for that occasion.
Yeah.
But I think he'll make it. Spieth is, I think, way too far down in the rankings right now. I think Tiger is 6th in the world. So that's like 2. I'm not sure. Because Rory, even though he lives in Florida, he's not, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't. I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I'll have to take a look.
I'm trying to think of who are the golfers that would be the U.S. team golfers.
But I'm excited to see kind of where that goes, because it's new territory, especially because it hasn't been around so long.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with golf.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the Olympics, are coming up.
That's what I'm excited
It's
to
an
watch.
exciting time. That and it just, I like fun. Like I like watching swimming at the Olympics, HGTV. I need to start. I have been slacking off on reading. I'm not gonna lie. I used to read a lot more. Like I'm talking about books.
Yeah.
Like I read. I read every day.
Do you have a favorite book series?
No.
Or an author?
Nah.
Or a genre?
It's funny. Like when it comes to books, like if I'm watching, like say I'm watching The Breakfast Club or something, and Michael Eric Dyson comes on and he starts promoting his book, I go buy the book. Gucci Mane, something like that. Like I'm talking about, like that's kind of how I do it. Like I don't really go like, yo, I have because I read. I'm a sporadic novel reader, but I read every day, like some type of newspaper or something, like articles. I
wish more people
read
would
that
do that.
every day. Like not even like not on no nerd type stuff. Like I really read every day. Like when my mom,
that's a good thing.
Like my mom, like you know what I'm saying. My mom, I don't know, does she still get Essence? She used to get like Essence and Ebony. You know what I'm saying. My mom is like, this is black woman to the fullest. She got Ebony, Essence, and she used to get Jet. I used to actually read Jet magazine and not just go to the centerfold, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I would actually read the magazine, like because there was stuff in there. Like I'm an article reader. I'm not really a heavy novel reader. So
but I like a good story.
I'm trying to get back into like probably novels and stuff like that, but it's kind of hard sometimes for me to just read, like dive so far into a novel. But if I can like read this, well, newspapers are kind of obsolete at this point. But
I wish
like
they would come back.
Reading like articles that are like newspaper style. You know what I mean? Most people have it on their telephone now.
Yeah.
But I read something every day. Like I guess that's a fun fact about me.
Yeah.
I read something like that every day. Because I feel knowledge is power. So you gotta read.
That's
and
true.
plus me being somebody who like to, talk a little I don't need to know what I'm talking about. So I mean
informed situation.
I gotta be informed. And then plus too, it's you gotta learn something new every day. So if you ain't trying to learn something new every day, you're losing. That's a
true.
word. That's a word right there. If you
So-
ain't learn something new every day, you're losing.
So what do you consider as far as reading books and reading news? What do you classify as news? I think, in my personal opinion, I've heard that students and like young people watch BET News for news. That's not news. That's like pop culture news.
It's still news though.
Really.
It's still news.
I don't
because
consider
the
it.
reason I say this is because every outlet has a purpose. There's a reason we have Entertainment Tonight. There's also a reason we have Sports Center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's also another reason we have just your local news. You got Dateline. You got, there's nightly news. There's so many. There's a reason you got CNN. You got NBC. MSNBC. You got Fox News. There's all different types of news. So I think it's news. But I do think it's nothing wrong. If you want to be on page 6 or whatever and just know about that kind of stuff all the time, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you're consuming news. I think you still have to be versed in like other news. Like,
yeah.
I probably read more sports news than any other news.
Yeah.
But
that would make sense.
But if it's like if somebody come and ask me and I go, oh yeah, I know LeBron's team won the All-Star game, but I don't know the coronavirus. It's like then it's like, are you really like keeping yourself informed? So yeah, no, I don't think anything's wrong with like if you just are heavy in pop news culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I think if that's the only thing you consume, then I think you're giving your brain a disservice. And that's the same thing like if you only read sports, if you only read politics, like you have to
read a little bit.
You have to let your mind go to different places. That's the way I look at the news.
Well, we got news for the people here on Talk of the Shore. Let's get into some sports news.
Yes.
So massive weekend in sports. I think pretty much, what do we have? 13, 14 sports here.
Last Saturday we had 7, I think, different teams playing. 7.
We got a little bit from everybody.
It was a lot
last weekend.
So
let's get into it. Let's start with some women's basketball here first. They took a loss to Bethune-Cookman University on Friday evening, 53 to 62.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah. No.
Saturday evening. Yeah, it was Saturday.
Or was it Friday? It was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. I'm sorry. Saturday, 53 to 62. How was that game? I was not at that game. But I heard it was very interesting.
It was Bethune Cookman won the conference last year on the women's side, and they beat us in the semifinals of the tournament. So
I remember.
Yeah, so it was kind of one of those things, but they're a good team. They had some big girls, and it was one of those things where I think we were playing hard, but they were just a little bit better that day. But I don't see them as like world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. But it was just an interesting game all around. And our girl, like I was looking out there, we have some young girls. So I think that I shouldn't call them young women out there playing, and they, I see them like it's we knew it was kind of going to be that kind of year for them. Yeah. As far as ups and downs. But I mean, I've seen some things from some of them that is really promising, even if not for this year, definitely for the future.
And then last night, they took another loss, and you'll see the funny fact about this game when we get to the men's side.
Yeah.
But they lost to FAMU 71 to 81. I thought for the most part that game was pretty solid. It's just a few. Just a few many turnovers, a couple fouls that could have been eliminated. But for the most part, I would say it was a good performance.
The other thing, too, was FAMU couldn't miss. Like, they shot
everything.
Those threes, like, they were just pulling.
Yeah.
And they were not missing.
Just let them go.
And then they had that really big girl on the inside. It was, like, gobbling up rebounds. Gobbling up rebounds like, you know what I'm saying, like a pack of Skittles.
All right.
Like, she was just gobbling them up, but... they'll be all right. But yeah, the women had a tough weekend. But man, this was listen. I've been here. I'm going into my 3rd year being here. I don't think I'm stretching by saying this was probably one of the more impressive weekends of basketball I think I've ever seen this men's basketball team play.
Yeah,
like I mean because. I talked with Rob Tyler, who's works in the academic advisement for the basketball team, and we were talking about this was before when after they won their first game this past weekend. We said this is a big win because it was the first time we beat somebody that on paper we were supposed to lose to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and then we did that twice. So this past weekend on Saturday. We defeated Bethune-Cookman 66 to 58, and then beat FAMU on Monday night, 81-71, which was a flip of the women's score, 81-71. So 2 wins over both of the Florida schools. FAMU came in, had won 8 conference games. Bethune had won 6 conference games. And to get wins against both of them back to back, the crowd was great.
Yeah, the crowd was great
both nights. I really think this was probably the most important weekend of basketball I think I've seen in the 2+ years I've been here. Just because it really is like, okay, cool, we're really peaking and getting ready for the MEAC tournament, because the MEAC tournament is less than a month. Like, it's here. Like,
it's
here.
On our doorstep. Like,
it's
coming
here. Like, we got. This weekend going to North Carolina to play Central A&T. That's another big test, and then homecoming is Dale State.
Now I think that weekend's important. If they can get through that weekend, both teams, get through homecoming weekend, because homecoming hasn't been the best event for both the women's and the men's side in recent years. But I think if they can pull out 2 victories, that weekend, I think it's next Saturday is when it is. If they can pull out victories for those 2 games, that will prepare them a lot to get ready to go to a MEAC style event. A lot of different people from a lot of different teams. I want to say we're playing Delaware State for homecoming. So that will be, even bigger crowd, because those people are going to drive down from Delaware to watch that game. So I'm excited for those 2 games, and we'll see where they go.
Yeah, this is 5 games left, so it's just the nitty gritty. But I really, the guys they're starting to play well. And so I'm
I
happy
think
for them.
that Will DeBoer, who's our voice of the Hawks, has said a few times in the last couple of games he hasn't seen the basketball teams play this tough in recent history. And I think it's kind of given a spark to the fans, a spark the way he calls basketball games, and the way that we get to write and report on these games as well. I think they're playing really well right now.
Yeah, it was like last night when I was writing a recap and then trying to, nominate people for, players of the week, and I'm like, man, I can't remember a time that
when you've had 3 or 4.
I was like 3, legit, these 3 guys could all win awards this week. Like, I hadn't had that many times for one reason or another, because it was so sporadic in the play. But we really in that spot. So, both basketball teams keep it up. The stretch run is coming. Softball was down in South Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina to be exact. They got their first win of the season. Yeah, and me being the sports information director for softball, defeated Buffalo 5-4 last Saturday. That was the first time the softball team has won a game in February in 3 years.
There you go.
See, that's why you got to getting that sports information out there. But they lost the other games, but even they lost to Oakland 4-3, which was a close game down to the end. So like not a lot of girls, but they're playing hard. They're playing tough. Got to win, and so. Good job for the softball team. They'll be back in action next weekend down in Myrtle Beach. So,
baseball also, started off with a little momentum, but just ended up just short. They took 3 losses to Mercer this past weekend. Yeah, I think obviously their home games are going to be at Arthur Purdue Stadium, home of the Shorebirds. So if you ever get the chance to come out, watch those games. We need the home crowd, but I think they're getting ready. They're getting ready. I think they're going to be on a good foot and ready to get in front of the home crowd and play a solid game of baseball for those games.
Yeah, and there's those home openers this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Albany. Check EasternShoreHawks.com for all the times. Indoor track.
They had
a really good weekend. This was their last regular season indoor meet. The MEAC championships, the MEAC indoor championships are next weekend, February, I think 28th, 29th, in Landover, PG County, right?
Yeah, PG County.
In Landover, Maryland. Jessica Roney was one of the ones that had a really good weekend. She won the 60-meter hurdles. We had a lot of PRs, a lot of top 5 finishes. So, great look from the Hawks up in they were at Monmouth at the Monmouth Invitational. So, good job from track and golf. Even they got into the action.
Golf got in a little action this weekend. A little chilly, but it was good.
It was.
Women's team were in action. Sheridan Graves out of Detroit, Michigan, made her debut as well, and they got the win over Delaware State. Had a little quick regular season matchup against Delaware State. First time we've done it. They did something a little different. They're typically playing in stroke play. But they changed up a little bit, did a little match play style, a little Ryder Cup style event. And it turned out pretty well. I think all our players played pretty well. We only had one loss. Bree Willis just came up just short in that matchup. But for the most part, they played pretty well. Coach Dillon is really, really happy with the way they performed. Doesn't want to overhype it. But obviously, they're looking forward to their Alabama trip that's coming up. This weekend. So 3.5 to 1.5 is what the total score was. So we got their first victory of the season.
That's what's up. And we were talking about softball earlier. Their head coach, Carla Powell, will be on the show next week. So you will be able to hear from somebody else and not just hear me and Langston yak back and forth. But as always, you can follow all of the Hawks on Twitter, Facebook, ES Hawks on Instagram, ES Hawks Sports on Twitter, and then every team has
Everybody's got a Twitter.
So ES Hawks Golf, ES Hawks Softball,
Baseball's
bowling,
got one.
baseball, basketball, both men's and women's.
Yep.
Go there.
Everybody's
Volleyball.
got one.
Everybody's got it.
So
Everybody's
you can go
there.
and you can see all of their upcoming schedules, their events, where they're going to be. If you've got friends and family in the neighborhood, come out, tell them to come support those games. We would love to have you. And, good times for the sports department right now.
It is, let me explain this before we go. It is good times, but it's also tired times. It's a lot. It is a lot, but it's part of the hustle and bustle. And it kind of, it's funny. I don't realize I'm tired until like the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like last night, I was up to like 1:30, 2 o'clock doing stuff. And at the time, I was still going.
You were cool.
Man,
You're cool.
And then I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm tired. And I couldn't figure out why. But obviously, you spend a whole night doing that. And so.
But it's worth it.
It's an exciting time. And I always like to see our teams be successful just for the morale of the student athletes. It's always good to, see them in good spirits.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I saw volleyball right before we came over here today. They're already starting to, start to get back together and, start to get working.
They were at the game last night, too.
They were at the game.
Pretty much all of
they were in the game in full force. So, it's
all of our
it's
teams
always
were
good
out
to
of the games last night.
It's good to see them.
It's good. It's good to see everybody. But if you want more of the podcast, make sure you join in the conversation. Use the hashtag TalkShore, or you can email us to hear future ideas, future guests at mdtalkshore@gmail.com.
Absolutely, and make sure you watch Hawk Talk with Will DeBoer. Comes out at the end of each week. Sits down usually with head coach of the women's basketball team, Frazier Bachelor, head men's coach Jason Crafton, and variety of special guests. We've had bowlers, we've had Billy Dillon, who's the women's golf coach. We've had Damian Drummond, who's the track coach. So that third guest is a wild card.
Yeah, you never know who's gonna show up.
In Uno terms, it could be a draw 4.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You never
real
know.
wild. You know what I mean. So that's make sure you guys look out and watch Hawk Talk. Don't forget to share, subscribe, including Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Logo. Don't let this logo behind you go in vain. I had to add the pause for dramatic effect. I try to do my best, but also, that's what the audio version visual versions on YouTube in case you want to, see exactly what it looks like in here.
Yep, just search it up, #TalkShore, or you can also search us up at Talk of the Shore podcast, and we're right there. All 7 episodes.
All 7. And the trailer.
In the trailer.
So we'll be back next week. As we said earlier, Carla Powell will be on the show. And as always, you can follow me on my social media, Ray_Law12 on Twitter, R_Wardlaw on Instagram, Raylan Wardlaw on Facebook and LinkedIn.
You can find me on Twitter at Langston Frazier, and you can also find me on LinkedIn as well. And you can also follow me on my other podcast, The Langston Frazier Show, #TLFSPod. New episodes coming soon. I think that's it for this week.
That's it for this week. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. I'm one of your hosts, Ralan Wardlaw.
I'm Langston Frazier. We'll see you next week on Talk of the Shore. And have a good afternoon.
Thank you, everybody.